Right, so this question here, part A, it says sketch the graph of y equals 2 f of x plus 3 indicating the coordinates of the highest point and of the points where the graph intersects the x-axis. So you notice here we've got the highest point at 4, 2, it goes through the x-axis at the origin, and 8, 0. Right, so the first thing we need to do with part A, okay, is to focus on inside the bracket. We've got x plus 3, so we're going to draw that one first. Okay, and remember, inside the bracket you always do the opposite along the x-axis. So the opposite of this will be taking away 3. In other words, going back 3 on the x-axis. Okay, so 8, 0 will become 5, 0. The origin will become minus 3, 0, and then this will go back. If you think about it, it's at 4 at the moment, it goes back to 1. Alright, so when you draw this here, you need more of the x-axis, of course, for negative values of x, okay? And as I said, this point here, 8, 0, goes back 3, so it becomes 5, 0. So it goes about there. Mark it 5, 0. That point up here goes back 3, so that'll become 1. The y value stays the same, okay? The y value is not affected, so it becomes 1. So we'll go about there. 1, 2. And then it goes through the origin, of course, as well. If you remember, it goes through the origin, so it goes back 3. So it'll go through a minus 3, which is about here, okay? So you draw your graph. This one is straight, okay? So this is probably a modulus of something, all right? The most important thing is that you do have the correct values in place there, okay? Now this is f of x plus 3. Of course we want 2f of x plus 3, so what we do now to work out 2f of x plus 3, we base it on this. We use this one to help us, okay? Now when you've got a number in front of the f, okay, we're affecting now the y values, okay, and because we're timesing it here by 2, the y values get times by 2, so this will times by 2, so you get 4. The x value will be unaffected, it'll stay as 1, okay, so the maximum will stay where x is 1, but this will become 4, alright? So let's draw this. Okay, so let's look at these values as well, where it crosses the x-axis. Now, if we're multiplying the y values by 2, okay, well, if we multiply that by 2, it doesn't change, doesn't it? Because 0 times 2 is still 0. So we've got the same point. It's not affected. So it's still going to be 5, 0. Likewise, with that one there, that's going to be minus 3, 0. Okay, but this point here, this maximum, well, you times that by 2, the y value becomes 4. Okay, so we're going to be up here somewhere. Alright. Alright, so we've got then our graph 2f of x plus 3. Right, so part B, you notice here it says on a separate diagram, sketch the graph of f of 2x plus 1, indicating the coordinates of the highest point where the graph intersects the y-axis. So again with this now, right, we've got this adding 1 on the end, but focus inside the bracket first. Okay, so we'll do this one to start with, f of 2x, right? And remember, in the bracket, you're always doing the opposite. So with 2x, you're timesing the x values by 2. So if you're timesing here, the opposite will be dividing the x values by 2, okay? So it's a scale factor of a half, okay? So you're halving the x values essentially, okay? So if we look at the original, we go back to the original one again, of course, right? Because that's f of x. So we're halving the x values, all right? The axis actually doesn't need to change that much. Because if you think about it, halving the x values, but if you halve the x values, the 8 becomes a 4. Okay, so we end up about here. Y value is unaffected. And then the origin, well, the x value there is 0. If you halve 0, you just get 0, so it stays in the same place. Okay? And then up here, if you halve the x value here, half of 4 is 2. Okay? So it becomes 2. Y value stays as 2 as well. Okay? So that's f of 2x. Now we want to do f of 2x plus 1. So f of 2x plus 1, of course, that means you're shifting the graph up by 1. So this is a change in the y direction. So everything from here gets shifted up 1, and then you've got your solution. Okay, so you need to use what you've just drawn and shifting up everything by 1. Notice all they want is where the highest point is going to be. Okay, so if you're shifting up 1, it's going from 2, 2, it'll go to 2, 3. Okay, and where it will cross the y-axis as well. If you notice that, so it says the highest point and where it crosses the y-axis. So it's going to cross the y-axis then. Well, if you're shifting up 1 from here, it'll end up here. Okay, so you can draw your graph. Now, we can't really tell now if you think about it. There's no way of telling where it's going to cross the x-axis because we don't know that point there. But it doesn't matter, they're not asking for it. Okay, make sure you put here 1, okay, to denote where it goes through the y-axis. Job done.